All right, what's up, y'all? It is June the 28th, Saturday, and I got a consultation I got to do. So I'm going to have you guys sit in on this consultation and enjoy. Now, this is a return. I probably dealt with this guy about 2 or 3 times. He's probably going to say that. When I ask him, how'd you hear about us? They always tend to want to be proud to say, hey, I'm a prior. So let's get it.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Yo, Chris, how you doing, man? We've been connected before years ago. It's got that. Yeah, my name is Mark Ruffin.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll do things a little different right now. I just got to log the call. So state your city and state for me.
City, state, Aston, Pennsylvania.
And I think I remember you. Your baby mama moved somewhere else and something about a lease.
Right. So,
Yeah.
right.
And she tried to get you to come to the house to serve you or something like that.
Yeah, that's kind of something like that.
Okay.
I've been through all this stuff within the last 7
Oh,
years.
right. Okay.
This goes way back since 2018.
2018. Gotcha.
I've been watching you since 2018. You've helped me come a long way, my guy.
My man. I definitely appreciate that.
Everything you said, I've done, and it's been working out for me.
Hey, listen. I try to tell individuals that there's a bunch of dynamics to this family court thing, but everybody just tend to want to make it child support, and it's a whole bunch of dynamics to it. So, that's what. But so, what's going on today, man?
Okay, so somehow, all right, so there's a child support order in New Jersey that's established for 3 children. The baby mom lives in Bear, Delaware, and I live in Pennsylvania. So that right there is a problem right there. Okay. They sent me a letter to come to court. She wants an upward modification. My thing is, I've always given her a P.O. box. I gave the courts a P.O. box. I don't know how they got my residence. That's where I'm fucked up at right now.
So, how long have you had the PO box?
I've had the P.O. box since 2022.
And they mailed you something. And what do you have coming there? Your driver's license registered there or something?
What's coming where?
What's registered at that house? Is your driver's license address? The address on your driver's license, is it at that house?
Yes. But I live in Pennsylvania. And this is a New Jersey order.
No, what I'm saying is, okay, the address that child support mailed the letter to, is that the same address that's on your driver's license?
Yes. Which is not supposed to be. It's supposed to be the P.O. box.
Right. That's how they found you. That's it right there. Let me tell you, since 2018 we started our Daddy's House service. We got a guy named Mr. Holback. I'm gonna just say Mr. Holback. And Mr. Holback is down in South Carolina. And Mr. Holback got served with a divorce. And he used our Daddy's House address and switched his license to Virginia. Now he lives in South Carolina. And the one thing that I could say that he paid attention to is he brought into the fact that convenience is a killer. I don't care if you like I tell individuals, my license is in one state, I live in another state, my car is registered in an entirely different state. I'm stretched across 3 states. You will not find me. It's not happening. You're not putting my information and hitting enter and boom. No. So what happens is the art that you're trying to pull off of deception, because you're in the tri-state, Bear, Delaware, Pennsylvania, that's New Jersey, that's the tri-state. That's y'all tri-state. That's South Jersey's tri-state. Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey. Up north tri-state is New York, Connecticut, New Jersey. But You gotta just stretch your stuff out a little bit more. That's all. You gotta. So this when this thing was sent to you, and it was asking for an upward modification. So how long was that order in place now that they're asking for an upward modification?
Okay, so now I'm step back a little bit. So we had 3 children. 2 years ago, there was an order in place for $2,000 a month. I didn't feel as though that was agreeable because I missed the court hearing. That's why they upped it from. It was originally $400 per month, and then he upped it to $2,000 per month.
3,000?
No, 2,000. So it went from 400 to 2,000. Okay.
So hold on. What was her drastic change of circumstances that made her do that?
From 400 to 2,000.
Yeah.
I stopped fucking her.
But what? See. Here's what I'm getting at. And it's funny because I just did a live stream on divorces, and I said in that live stream, a lot of you fathers, the unfortunate thing that you don't do, is you do not stay on offense. When you stay on defense, you'll be in a situation of not knowing nothing, but reacting to everything. So I just asked you, what was her drastic change of circumstances? And you said you stopped that she's not selling that to the court. And the thing is, it's all about you just building up your case to say this. You know, it's what they do to us, and we don't do that to them in return. This is why we got to start changing the dynamics of what we know as family court today. We got to change it. It's up to men. They're not going to do it for us. So,
well, there is a case that was built up. So that was 2 years ago. So I hired an attorney.
What? No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. I'm only kidding, man. He said, so I hired an attorney.
He's seeking some money right now. He found out I got a court hearing. He ready to talk to me now, but it is what it is. But he got it dropped down again. So after I put in my information, it was 2 years ago. So it went from 400 to 2,000 back down to 400. It was like around 550 and some change. I was cool with that.
What do you do for a living?
That's funny you asked that. I own a trucking company. And I don't get 1099. I get invoices. So that's where I was messed up at.
What do you mean you get invoices? Everybody get invoices.
So instead of my business getting a 1099 at the end of the year, I had to create my own 1099, and I had to create my own 1099 for myself.
Well, everybody had to do that. Here's what I'm asking. So everybody got to do that. But here's what I'm asking. How long you been trucking?
I've been trucking for the last 10 years.
Okay.
Now, I'm owning my own company. She never knew about that. I've always kept it. Since 2018, when you told me about everything, I said, I need to start fucking with the 1099s thing. And then it grew out of nowhere. I'm surprised it got this, like I'm not, I'm doing okay.
Right, I got you.
And so she never knew about the name of my company. I kept it behind her because I knew one day she was going to try to cash me out. You feel me? So, that's
you knew one day she was going to cash you out, huh? No, that's right. I'm sorry, man. Boy, that's funny to me because I use that term. She's going to cash you out. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
So that's what I do for a living. I'm making. It's hard right now in the trucking industry. If I could give more, I would. So what happened?
If you could give more, you would?
No, I wouldn't.
That ain't what you just said, is it?
Well, on time. So here's the thing. So they dropped it down back in January. They took it down from $560 to $350 a month because she tried to get greedy. She was mad that I didn't pick the kids up, and she said, "Well, I'm gonna take
what does she do for a living for your child support to get $350? What does she do?
She's a registered nurse.
Oh yeah, she. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. So registered nurse. Okay.
She's a registered nurse. She owns a $450,000 house in Bear, Delaware, where she was mad that I didn't want to move in with her I don't want to pay no mortgage to nobody and all the credit bullshit.
I applaud you. I applaud you, my man.
Yeah. So and that was way back in 2022. That's why she did that from 400 to 2,000 situation. So that was long ago. So now things is getting hard. They laid her off at her job. She started a new daycare. Now she has a way of masking her income with her daycare. So at one point she was making $1,800 a week. Now she's claiming she's only making $1,000 a week. And then I'm also getting a order right now saying that her income dropped $450 weekly. So she's saying she went from 1,000 to.
So right now she got. So you're about to go to court for that?
Yes. They said I had to come in on the 30th. So this letter just came in on the 23rd of June. Well, she filed on the 23rd of June, and they just mailed me this in today. So I said,
So you got to go to court on the 30th, as in next week?
July.
July 30th?
Yes.
Go ahead.
So if you want me to read it, it's okay. So it's 1, 2. There are 2 pages that it's not long, but I would like to read it to you. This is important.
Take your time. Take your time. Take your time.
Okay. All right. Defendant should be at minimum wage. Defendant gives false employer paperwork. He does not make full monthly payment. Please deduct payment from payroll at minimum wage. He reports below minimum wage falsely. I told him I made $14.25 back in January. That's how he dropped it down to $3.50 a month. The other page says this modification enforcement. I would like to apply for modification due to a decrease in income, $450 weekly. I guess that's what she wants weekly. I also would like to apply for enforcement of the child support order. The defendant does not pay his total amount. Mark only paid $225 per month in May. Despite his enforcement of payment, I am requesting that Mark's weekly income is put at minimum wage and gets payroll deductions. Mark submits false income, the documentation below minimum wage, original documents on file. If you wish to receive a copy, contact him.
Oh, I'm sorry. I fell asleep, man. I'm sorry I fell asleep. First of all, all right, I would draft up a motion and I would just refute her motion. You're in a position where you're fighting a nurse. It don't matter. It doesn't matter if she's employed or not. She's a nurse. You know, you gotta, if like I said, what we would do here, we draft up a motion. You sound like, honestly, you sound like you need us on retainer for about 3 months to get your child support down to zero.
So right now it's at $350 a month.
It shouldn't be. Well, here's the deal. You have your own business, correct?
Correct.
And you file your tax when you submit an invoice. What is, because I don't know nobody that has a trucking business that's not on a 1099. I don't. I know you submit an invoice and they pay J&J Trucking. They pay your DOT, your own authority. You get all that. Even if you don't do that, explain to me how to set up all your business work. So if you was to run a load right now, how would you get paid?
I would run the load. I would invoice the company, and my factoring company sends me a deposit the next day.
Under what name?
Company name.
Under the company name.
Yes.
I'm gonna say something. Don't be surprised if it sounds the same, okay? You need us on retainer for about 3 months, and your child support to be zero. Okay, so I want you to listen to what you just said. What I said was, I'm gonna say the same thing. Don't be surprised if it sounds the same. Then I repeated the fact. You sound like you need us on retainer for about 3 months to bring your child support to about zero. Because I need you to listen to what you just said, right? This is what you said, right? I do a load and then I submit an invoice and then they pay me via deposit. And then I said, who do they pay? You said my company name, right?
Yes.
What's your last name?
Ruffin.
Is Ruffin anywhere in the name of your company?
Say it more again.
Is the name Ruffin anywhere in your company name?
Not the name Ruffin, no.
Okay, hold on. So you've been fighting the system under the context of, let's just say the name of your company is J&J Trucking. You've been fighting your system and they've been taking the proceeds from J&J Trucking, saying that that's what your child support is. This is a J&J Trucking. Because Mr. Ruffin don't make nothing. Your trucking company does. This is what attorneys don't tell you. And the problem is you're not going to get somebody to draft a promotion. You're not going to get somebody. And then on top of that, like I said, you're fighting a nurse. Unemployed or employed, it don't matter. She's a nurse. It's where it is. It's where it is.
So now what I'm worried about is her finding out my address. Is she going to find out my address? Because I'm GPS, Apple AirTags. I don't need her following me around, seeing what I do.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if she's gonna find out where you live. What do you mean?
Well, due to the fact that the courts found out my residence and they give her my actual residence.
I don't know. I'm assuming so. Yeah, I'm assuming. Do your kids come to your house?
No, just for that reason.
What kind of car do you got?
I got a 2016 Lexus.
Do your kids drive in that car? Ever in that car?
They do, but every time they get in the car with me, I'm always checking for AirTags, GPSs. I always switch my license plate when I go over her house.
Wow, that's my man. My man. Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's what you doing everything you're supposed to do. Don't let nobody tell you, man, I ain't trying to do all that. Do all that. So when they mailed it to your house, you opened it?
Well, they sent a letter to my house, and then they also sent what is it called? We miss you slip on the door. I didn't cash that in, no. And they also sent a letter to my mom's house because they have my mom's house information.
So the We Miss You a process server, sheriff, something?
It was probably one of those. Well, it said the UPS.
How far do you live from your mom?
My mom lives like 5 miles away from me. She don't even know where I live at. Nobody knows where I live.
Right. Well, something is going down. You own a lease.
Lease.
Yeah, you just bounce out of there. I hate to say it, but all right. So the thing, the perspective and narrative is, and your case is in what city?
The case is in
Bear?
Camden. No. The case is in Camden, New Jersey. She lives in Bear, Delaware. I live in Aston, Pennsylvania.
Do you know for sure she lives in Bear, Delaware?
Yeah, she owns a home.
So why y'all fighting in New Jersey?
Because when we were still together back in 2019 through 2018 to 2020, from 18 to 20, she had no child support in New Jersey. Now they had it set for $400 a month, but I was still over there. I was paying the $400, and I was also giving her a little something on the side. Since I left, she didn't like that little extra on the side. She's been trying to get that plus more.
I wasn't talking about like that. If neither you or her live there, it shouldn't be you shouldn't be going there.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like, yeah. You got a lot of tying up to do. Your situation just seems a little bit unmanaged and a little bit sloppy, and this is for upward modification.
Yes.
How long did she live in Bear, Delaware?
She's been here since December 2020.
December 20. It's okay.
And we had a baby in 2022. While she was living in Delaware, and then she put the baby that was in Delaware through the New Jersey courts. She's claiming that I can get more money through Jersey versus Delaware.
Yeah, that's fraud, bro. Yeah, man, you got a lot going on with this. So you got one of the cases is still in Jersey?
Yeah, all of them are in
Oh,
Jersey.
Camden is New Jersey. Yeah, that's right.
The 3 cases in Camden, New Jersey.
Right. Right. How do you know for sure? Like, what proof do you have that she lives in in Camden? I mean, Bear, Delaware.
Well, proof? Well, hey, if you got a daycare business and it says Delaware, it has her name on there. She owns a home. I was living there with her back in 2020.
So you know the address.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So you can go a lot of ways with this. You can just go with deception, fraud. In addition to that, the daycare, you saying she can hide her business? No, she can't. All you got to do is sit down there one day, send a PI in front of that mug, and have them sit there for 4 hours in the morning, 4 hours in the evening. I know it'll cost you. You get the kid count, rock out from there. No offense, but a lot of y'all.
That's I'm afraid she'll do to me. What you just said, she can do to me. Because
Listen, bro, I don't care if you got a truck and you park that mug outside the court and the bailiff that's going to be in the courtroom with you, see you get out of it, and you walk into that courtroom with the same uniform with that truck on it and all that. You're not getting paid. That's the difference. You're saying that listen, you're not getting paid. The company is. You can understand the logic when you said she has a daycare and she can hide her income, but you're not understanding that logic for yourself. It's a beautiful perspective. It really is. It's a beautiful perspective. When they sit up there and try to make it seem like I can do this, I can do that. No. Where are you running? You running local, over the road? What?
I'm local. I might come down here down here in Virginia, Virginia Beach sometimes. I drive up to Connecticut. I'm in Philadelphia a lot, Jersey. Local guy.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's cool shit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you just gotta. To me, it just sounds like, you just got to clamp down on this. And I just said in my live stream, don't bring a slingshot to a gunfight. And it just sounds like you just got to go full throttle with a bottle, man. You got a lot of little things going on that you just need to sweep up together, make one pile, and just burn it, straight flame it out. That's what it just sounds like to me. It just sounds like you just got a lot of little things going on. And in addition to that, it sounds like you need at least 2 or 3 motions filed with the court to help them understand. The stuff that they mailed to your house, did you pick it up, or did you say the stuff was the note we missed you was on your door?
Yeah, I just left it there. I'll throw it out.
Right. And so a piece of mail came and that came. Did you open up the mail?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have returned it to sender. Okay. Well, you reacted enough in time. I'll tell you that. Today is the 28th, and you got to go to court next month. So you reacted in time. So what is it that the one that they mailed to your mom's house is identical to the one they would mail to you?
Yes.
Okay. And that's the one you read to me?
Yes.
All right. All right. She has an attorney?
I don't think so. And if she did, I'm sure they would have her signature on it. I think she did this pro se.
And she's saying in there that she thinks you hiding money, etc., right?
She's not saying that I'm hiding money. On the thing, it says...
she wants you assessed at minimum wage?
Yeah, minimum wage in Jersey is $15 an hour. Pennsylvania is $7 an hour. I told them I need $14.25 an hour. I'm cool with the $450 a month. It was a crazy month. I couldn't pay the full amount in May, and she mentioned about it and went up there and did an emergency consent, I guess. Like I said, Mark only paid $225 per month on May.
How old are you?
I'm 36.
Okay. How old is she?
42.
Oh. She's 42, you 36. She said, I want that young nut. Okay. She said, I want that young nut. Okay, I want that young nut. Okay. Shit. How old are y'all kids?
The oldest, she'll be 8 in next month. Then we got a 6-year-old and we got a 3-year-old.
Wow. You're being nice, and the reason why, as I'm talking to you, the one thing when you said I'm cool with the 450, that tells me you're holding back your punches. It's okay to hold back your punches when you're not fighting. When you're fighting a chick, even though you know you love her with everything, you got to understand they're declaring war on you. They waiting to catch you slipping, and it's up to you to say to yourself, I'm going to just blow you out the water. And then we can be friends afterwards, but I'm going to help you understand I'm not the one to be messing with. And so you got to stop holding back your punches, and you just got to just murk this chick. All the things that she said in that little piece that you read, there's nothing to support it. It's just saying. It's nothing to support it, though. And that's not how it goes. That's not how it goes. You just, like I said, you can really put things together to really put her in a place where, you're not getting nothing. I mean, like I said, you're not being paid, and her saying assess you at unemployment, that's a nice trick, but you could beat that too. It's all these formalities that she's doing, even the case being in New Jersey. Everything is wrong, and you're just, it's okay with you, I guess, because it's just whatever. It shouldn't be whatever. You shouldn't give a woman any room to breathe. Everything that's wrong, you slam her. You slam it on her, and that's what you need to do.
Right. Okay.
Really, it's a simple game. That when a man wakes up and say, okay, that's how you want to play, they don't want to play no more. That's how the game goes. But when you sit there and you constantly keep playing with these individuals and playing with them, it's what you're doing. They don't want to play that game no more. They don't. They love it when you you stay on defense. Get on offense, bro. Get on offense.
I've been playing defense for the last 8 years, man.
Yeah, I can tell.
Hiding income, hiding everything.
Yeah. Get on offense, quick. You're doing everything right, taking a plate. That's perfect, man. That is. I applaud you, brother. That is masterful. But you got to do the whole thing. You can't just do pieces of this and then that little piece or the classic, bro. You said you miss a court date. Once you miss a court date, then
It happened, man. It happened two years ago. I said, man, they don't got no information on me. Boy, I was wrong. Because the baby was born in Delaware, and then she went down there and said, yeah, we want to have it in New Jersey. That right there is illegal. How you want to have a baby born in Delaware and then add him on to New Jersey, and she lives in Delaware?
Happens with my 23-year-old my 23-year-old client up in Rochester, New York. The judge tried to give him multiple attorneys. We drafted up a motion. You seem very overweight. How about you recuse yourself off this case and go to the gym? He beat, with all the motions that we filed, everything that the judge did, we filed a motion. He got his divorce. And it seems to be the new thing I'm hearing. I'm just going to assess you at minimum wage. You can't assess me at minimum wage. I'm not working. He don't have a job. He's not working. But they want to just say, we're going to assess you at minimum wage. We're going to assess you at minimum wage. Not answering up. We're going to just assess you. He ain't paid nothing. She wanted $7,000 for a car. Didn't get it. She wanted $7,000 in attorney's fees. Didn't get it. She wanted alimony. Didn't get it. And she wanted child support. Ain't got a dime yet. Got a divorce in December. Why? Because this dude is staying on top of everything. When you say she had the baby there, she did this there, she did that there, you can't, listen, I'm going to tell you this. I don't ever blame a woman for fucking me. I got to blame myself for letting her get away with it. If the one thing a person want to say is, I want to go at this alone, or I don't want to incorporate help, that's where you mess up at. The help, when you say I use an attorney and he got you down, of course he got you. He got you where he didn't do that. They knew it was illegal to do it any other way. You cannot assess somebody on a job. You can't. So I will never say an attorney did me a favor. To do you a favor saying you work on a 1099, you shouldn't be paying child support at all. That woman should be at your mercy, calling you up every day saying, listen, I'll suck both your balls today, really. Both your balls, please, just some diapers, please. Not trying to strong arm you, constantly taking you back to court, filing stuff, this and all that. Lady, knock it off. You're being real modest, though. You're being modest. You're being generous. I would just say stop being generous. Yeah.
Well, I guess this ain't gonna go away in the song. So yeah, let's make it happen.
Get this letter sent to you.
All right. So it says she filed on the 23rd, and today they mailed it today on the 30th. They're not gonna. They had left the letter on the 30th. Mm-hmm. Which was today's the 30th.
No, today the 28th.
Okay. So they left it today.
So she mailed on the 23rd. Yeah. I'm gonna just tell you something that nobody wants, and how we do it here, and all my clients will tell you. The best way to do is always file something as soon as you get it. Okay. What happens is your aggression is going to speak a lot for you, because one thing you don't want to show them is you're intimidated. You want to show them I'm not intimidated. So you want to respond to every time she do. You file quick. And that's what it gets down to. You want to have her always knowing I'm not that dude. Honestly, whoa. Boy, I'm about to say, boy, you better get up and go get that mug. Hell no. All right. And how far is that from you?
It's about like 5 minutes.
Do you drive over there to get your truck or walk?
Drive.
Ride a bike. Stop driving your car. You know why you want to ride your bike?
Why is that?
If somebody following you, you can see them. You can't do that. You can't. If you're driving it to the truck, then they're gonna know. It's easier to follow a car. It's hard to follow because you'll know cars don't go with the speed of a bicycle. So you just put your little helmet on, just ride your bike, just keep watching your back. Oh, that car seems to be moving with me. They don't know where your truck is. That's how they'll find you, by knowing where your truck is. So ride a bike. I got a couple bikes, but I'm a health head anyway. So you ride a bike and you want to put things in motion. Nope, I'm not doing this. Nope, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing this. You gotta get more inconspicuous, because the distance from your house to your truck, it's just too close and it's telling them too much. Now, if you get in your car and circle the block 4 or 5 times, whatever, but you got to make or some.
Well, yeah, I leave out crack of dawn. My hours is really crazy.
You never counter it with, I do this so they won't do that. Don't do that. They can use a drone to follow you, bro. You don't. What I'm saying to you is, like, I do Lyft, right? So I have my car. I do Lyft with a Nissan Leaf. Nissan Leaf is electric. I don't have my Nissan Leaf at my house now. I have it in Hampton where I do my Lyft. And I have it in Hampton because it's a Nissan dealer there. I can charge up free at the Nissan dealer. So ain't no sense in me bringing my car back home. I just keep it over there by the charger. I got a storage joint that got the cars parked in it. So I keep it over there. So throw that boy on the charger, park it, jump in my car, come home. I shuttle with my car back and forth to the car and do it like that. So what I'm saying is, that's just what I do. Like I said, I don't believe in that word easy. I'm not, everything that I got to do to eliminate it. Any percentages of you compromising yourself, you better kill that percentage. You got to drop it. And she know you drive trucks. So if you say I leave out, they can do process of elimination. They can drive past your house at night, see your car there. Drive past your house at 8 o'clock in the morning one day, your car ain't there. Or he must leave at 7:30, then come back at 7 the next day, your car ain't there. And just do process of elimination of time. But if your car is always there, then they're like, oh, he must don't. It's just, that's how I think, all right? And being that you got this thing sent in the mail to you, just jump on it and keep firing away. You know, help her understand that person you used to know is not there. You know, that's just what it gets down with right now. You know, we do all that. We have our motion services and we have our monthly retainer service. You know, our monthly retainer is just unlimited motions. File all that you need, unlimited consultations. And then our motion service is just a one-time fee. We'll draft up one motion for you. You file it with the court. So you'll have us as your secretary, as your help to help you navigate through this 25 years experience.
Now, with the state of New Jersey, they use a system called JEDS, Judiciary Electronic something. So you can't file in the court. You got to do it online. Have you ever heard anything like that?
You say you can't file it in a court. You got to do it online.
Yeah, it's called JEDS, New Jersey JEDS. That's what it stands for.
And so you go online and file a motion, or you file a motion through the courts via like an email type system. But break it down to me. Go ahead.
Well, from what I remember, my lawyer, he did something to New Jersey. Hold on, you said New Jersey JEDS, and that's where you do all your motions, applications for motions. Mm-hmm. Judiciary Electronic Document Submission.
Oh, okay. I don't think everybody do that. I think that's what attorneys do. I have about 5 or 6 people in New Jersey, and they don't use that.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't use that. Even if so, if that's a system that you run into, then it's just a simple perspective of just uploading it into it and just filing it that way. But like I will tell you, I will simplify it by saying this: everything is litigation based, and you got to know how to fight. You got to know what to say, what not to say, when to shut up. When you are the person on defense, like you are, talking is not your best friend. You want to just shut up. There's no need to be talking. So the thing is, when you do talk, what do you say? What do you answer to? It's not worth talking. It's not. You let your paperwork do the talking for you. That's what it gets down to. Yeah, that's what it gets down to. So we're here if you need us, bro. All right.
I'm gonna definitely work with you guys. So now, all right, so this is a consultation. Now, how will we go about?
You need a consultation. All you do is text consultation. You don't text $50 consultation. I'm ready. You just text consultation, and Lydia will put you in either that day or the next day. When they respond to things with motions and everything, it's unlimited. Everything. You just got us on a retainer, so all the motions that you need to file. And like I told you, I think you need to file about 3 motions because there are things that you know, her being a nurse, your case being in New Jersey, and then you really need to file a motion and zero this thing out. And I believe that in the mix of you drafting up and them telling them that they don't live there, you're gonna have to get some information for where she lives at in Delaware, and you're gonna have to draft up a motion and file all that information. So you got I can see about 3 motions that you need right out the gate. I see it.
All right. Well, right now.
When was the last time y'all went to court, by the way?
Back in January.
January this year.
Yes.
And what was that for?
It was for a application for the modification for upward modification, but they decreased.
So January now is June. She back in court? Okay. This is something that I tell individuals all the time. If you lose your job on Thursday, you need to be down there Friday by the latest Monday. A lot of your reputation and what you believe about child support and the family court system is from the failure side of it. It's not from the side where the individuals do the right thing. Because my clients don't pay child support. My clients don't have these crazy attorney's fees. My client in divorces, they don't pay alimony. Why? Because everything, when my client went to the court back last year at the end of August, and the judge said, no, I got you assessed at you'll be paying alimony. I got you assessed at making $53,000 a year. Well, later on that day, he texted Lydia a consultation, and the very next day, we had a federal charge filed on him of incompetence. We filed information with him back in April. He's still talking in August about monies that we don't have. We filed, here's a copy of the motion that we filed on April 10th, telling him our financial situation. But just to ensure, make sure I pay this woman alimony and continue the perspective of family courts, jacking fathers. This judge said this today in court. We got the court transcripts, this and all that. The next day we did that. And that's how you fight the system. That's how it goes. So that's what it gets down to. However you pay, just make the payment. And then Lydia will send you our email address and she'll set you up an appointment time. And then I'll read over the stuff. If you do it today, I'll read over the stuff. I read at night. I tell people I got one to read from my client in South Carolina. So if I read that and if you do it today, I'll read yours today. But I need one overnight. Once you send the stuff, I need it overnight because I only read at night before I go to bed. So
I understand. Now, let me ask you this now. For this motion, this is going to be to refute this because they're claiming that I'm bringing fake information, and I don't like that. Them saying it, them bringing
right. Listen, bro, ain't nobody better at me in litigation. So you ain't gotta press me about it's this, is that. When I read it, I'm gonna tell you all the stuff you missed. That's how it goes. All right.
Okay. I'll give everything to you before the end of the day. Okay.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so listen, y'all. That was an individual did a consultation with, of course, and the unfortunate things that a lot of you guys do is you stay on defense. You stay on defense. You guys need to get on offense. 732-875-9111. That information will be below the video.